So it would seem that Boba Fett has been accepted as part of the Tusken Raiders, which pretty cool. I mean, it sort of fleshes out the Tusken Raiders as there's various tribes that aren't as malevolent as and I know that the whole thing
They still take slaves.
Well, I mean, honestly, dude, it's common practice. Here's the thing. It wasn't until here in the last 150 to the last 200 years that slavery was phased out of the world entirely. And for the entirety of human history, basically.
It's still not actually phased out from the world entirely. They're still slaves today.
Well, true. But in terms of, like, the modern world, in terms of, developed societies.
Talking like the first world?
Yes.
Yeah.
In the first world, it has basically, in a lot of ways, been phased out in favor of other things. And there's still inequity, which there's always going to be inequity because not everyone's born the same, and people are born with certain advantages and everything, and it's not fair to assume that, you should get the exact same treatment as them. I mean, hell, LeBron James is a freak athlete and deserves to get paid the big bucks because, he can, he is a very entertaining basketball player, and he's probably the best. He's probably going to go down as the highest scoring basketball player of all time. Is it fair of me to ask for the exact same amount of money that he's getting because he's worked his ass off to get where he is to become probably one of the best athletes of all time and will go down as one of the greatest? Is that fair? No. I mean, again, that's inequity. But in terms of human history, it's only here in the last 200 years or so that it's been phased out of like more developed societies. Because if you look at every society in the past, from like the Indus River Valley civilization, Sumeria, Egypt, heck, China, all of them had slaves, serfs, just people whom they purchased their land and basically told them, hey, if you want to live on this land, you have to work for me. And right here, I mean, the Tusken Raiders aren't perfect. I mean, you never expected them to be paragons of just virtue and just undeniably good people. But I think in truth it adds extra branches and extra layers to their their civilization and their tribes. And yeah, the whole slavery thing is kind of messed up, but at the same time, I mean, if you were born into that society, you probably wouldn't blink, you probably wouldn't bat an eye at it either. Because to them, all they know is that planet. All they know are the Dune Sea. All they know is the Dune Sea. All they know is, their way of life. And, their ignorance of what's out there is in some ways considered, a negative side. It's considered a slant against them. And yeah, I mean, it's sad that they don't have more modern antiquities to where they can raise their children safely and, haven't escaped the swaths of slavery. But again,
excuse me,
the universe is a big place, and, you're not going to find a 100% pure society no matter where you go. I mean, there's every society has its dark side. Every society. Well, anywho, we have here the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 3. It's a fairly shorter episode than the last two. The first two the first one I think was almost 50 minutes, and the last one was almost an hour, and this one's just about 40 minutes. So I guess we're gonna see what happens with this one. So let's go ahead and get it started. This is the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 3. Here we go. They are back once again.
Yeah, gross as ever.
Yeah, pretty disgusting, ain't gonna lie.
What in the hell?
After the sail barge disaster, there was a power vacuum. Then Fortuna assumed Jabba's mantle.
Where does that leave us now?
Everyone is waiting to see what kind of leader you are.
We should wait.
vassal seeks an audience with you.
Do they have an appointment?
No, Mistress Shand.
That's fine. Send them in.
State your name and your business.
I am Lord Appeal. I am a watermonger
Hey!
in this district.
What is your petition to Lord Fred?
Dude.
Well, apologies.
Milton from friggin' Office Space.
Oh.
Dude.
Sir, no one respects you.
Enough!
Let them speak.
A street gang of insolent youths has been stealing my inventory. Now, this never happened under the other daimyos, and I am insulted on your behalf.
And your inventory is water. What is this gang?
Well, they are half man, half machine. They modify their bodies with droid parts to make themselves even more deadly.
The little cyberpunk gang.
I would say so. I was going to say like a cyborg gang or something. Boba Fett versus a cyborg gang. Now this is a plot line I like.
That's a crime.
Is a crime what he charges?
Then farm your own water.
Look, old man.
Watch your tongue. I'm the daimyo of this district, and I will bring order.
You're a crime boss. Just like the rest of them.
If you're a daimyo, then why'd you let the Monga charge us a month's wages for a week's war?
You live in the workers' district. You all should be working.
There is no work, mighty daimyo. Look around you.
Then you will work for me. You got guts, I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
You better fight as good as you talk, Dank.
No, no! They stole from me! And you're just going to let them off?
Give them 500.
What? They owe 1,300.
I heard you the first time. Take the 500 and consider it resolved. If you want to continue to do business in my territory. And cut your prices. Rest of you gather up your gak, follow me.
Okay. You better move your asses. Oh, they customized the speeders. That's awesome. I was gonna say the front of their speeders look like those Londoner like Vespa scooters that's got a bunch of shit ton of mirrors and reflectors on it. That was a very popular thing for a while. Whoop. Yep. Knew it was coming. There's always the burp. Yeah. Always has to be.
I don't know how I feel about the gang's design though.
In terms of their customizations?
Just their overall look. They don't look very much like they're from Star Wars, you know what I mean?
Well, again...
They almost look kind of out of place.
Maybe? I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll have to see them, like there, I guess maybe they were in, like, a more, like, dressy garb. Whereas, I think maybe they're going to be a little more rough and tumble with their actual garb. I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Is he going off on his own, or is he... Oh, maybe he's going to hunt down where his armor is.
I do appreciate the practical effects, Bantha.
Oh, yeah. It looks great. It looks great, man. Sending a message. Post-Empire.
Protection arrangements are all part of doing business in the Outer Rim.
Very well, I'll take payment, be on my way.
The Kentan Striders have already collected protection money for the same territory you lay claim to. We are happy to do business with either party, but we do not want to be taken advantage of by paying protection to both.
Okay.
I'm sure you understand.
I will resolve this.
So I guess he has to basically, like, eliminate that gang. Ones that are causing trouble. Not like he had much of an issue handling those ones that were in the bar that one time. Oh no. Has the whole camp been burned?
Well, shit.
Damn, dude. Alright. Well. Whoa! Yeah, not against the Wookiee. Oh, bear hug. Ow! You little bastard. Are you sorry, big bastard? Uh-oh.
Poor piggies getting their asses kicked.
This dude he's friggin' tough.
Well, he looks bigger than Chewbacca.
Oh, yeah, he does. Oh! Gotcha! Cut his hand, cut his hand! Now what? Alright.
If you remember, Han said that Chewbacca could pull your arms out of your sockets.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that one looks even bigger and stronger than Chewbacca.
Well, he's a lot thicker. He's definitely, like, more broad.
Yeah.
Like, Chewbacca was really tall. That was his thing. This guy, he's at least, like, if this guy is not as lanky as Chewbacca, this guy is big, built like a brick shithouse.
Looks like it.
And he's tough. He's tough, man. I mean, honestly, like, all these dudes, if it had just been Boba Fett, Boba would be dead right now. Of course, he caught Boba Fett off guard while he was asleep.
I'm wondering why he's sleeping in a Bacta tank.
Because I guarantee you he still hasn't healed 100%. A friggin' Rancor?
Damn!
A frickin' Rancor! Is that Danny Trejo? Please tell me that's Danny Trejo. It is! Yes!
Hell yeah.
Love Danny Trejo. Oh, and him as the Rancor Wrangler. That is
right.
That is perfect.
That's
Clear
bitchin'.
off Tatooine, and I will consider a truce.
Oh.
Promised by who?
Ah.
And what of the Huts? I offer him back if you renounce all claims to Jabba's legacy on Tatooine.
Whoa. Damn, dude, they are ruthless. They give a Rancor, and they give up their friggin', like, massive, like...
Take it from an ex-bounty hunter. Don't work for skugholes. It's not worth it.
They now have a Rancor for the Rancor pit.
Quite the gift.
Well, you got a Rancor for the Rancor pit. Wonder how much that thing costs to feed.
I mean, typically you just feed it people you didn't like.
Yeah.
Why does it wear blinders?
This one is a calf. It was bred from champions for fighting. I saved this one for myself to train. It imprints on the first human it sees.
Oh, easy. Easy. That's...
It is said that the witches of Dathomir even rode them through the forest in
Oh,
Vang.
damn. I was saying, given the fact that you're playing a Jedi Fallen Order, you know about Dathomir.
Well, a little bit. I mean, all I know is, like, it's a place you can go at the beginning of the game, but you can't get super far into.
But you can get the two-headed lightsaber if you go there early.
Yep, I did.
I did that too. And when I told people that, they were like, "You did what?" I'm like, yeah. You just get to the point where you hit the block and go down, and it's right there.
The way they were talking about it this morning, apparently if you don't go there first, it seems like the first bench that you hit on the other planet would also give the lightsaber to you, I guess.
Oh, really?
That's the way they were talking this morning, I guess. So I'm not sure if it's like each bench you hit on a different place gives you an upgrade in a specific order.
From what I understand, yeah, they like each bench. Like,
so it doesn't really matter what order you get to the benches in, but like if you, like, obviously you can get the dual-bladed lightsaber much earlier if you manage to get through to that bench.
Yeah.
On Dathomir.
In which, yeah, I did, and then.
So you have to wait until like after the whole main objective of the other planet.
Yeah.
So.
And I absolutely just baffled people when I told them that. But
I mean, it helps a fuck ton because having the dual-bladed saber.
Oh, for reflecting shots.
Yeah, like, against the minigunners.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It just, like, the minigunners just walk out like, oh, fuck your day up. And it's like you are the easiest enemy in the game because of your style of combat.
Yeah, you literally stand there and I reflect.
Yeah, you just turn on the dual-bladed lightsaber and hit the button before the first one gets to you, and they get shredded by their own minigun.
Yep. I love it. Anyway.
It will take a tremendous amount of discipline.
We begin today.
Oh. So I wanted to say, imagine him riding into town on that motherfucker.
Right.
And you make a point.
Stand here.
Oh? I was going to say, if Danny Trejo becomes a regular or a recurring cast member on this, I can't wait. Because him being involved in this, hell yeah. Imprint.
Unless he was lying.
Easy, boy. Easy.
Is this the spot? Oh, yes. You like this? Huh?
Excuse me, Lord Fett.
Not now, I'm busy.
We heard back from the mayor's office. He remains completely unavailable for at least the next 20 days.
Feed the Rancor. A full Ronto carcass from the larder. I think he's hungry.
Oh. Oh.
I gotta say, their little speeder bikes
I see the Power Rangers. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I can't help it.
The color scheme is like fucking Power Rangers,
Yes.
and they look like mopeds.
Well, again, that's the.
They're really kind of fucking lame.
Yeah, I gotta admit, I know the style they're going for. They're going for like the British moped, the British Vespa mopeds, with like the reflectors and like being all bright and shiny and standing out.
It's like from a design aspect, I feel like they were trying to make these guys look kind of badass, but they look like they're riding Power Ranger mopeds.
Yeah, they do. And
they kind of dropped the ball on that design.
I will say this though, their power, like their weapons and stuff like that, seem to be cool. The girl with that knife, the chain, the electrified chain whip, and also, dude, I mean, I think they could become cooler. It's just they'll have to grittify down those speeder or those mopeds. Mm-hmm. That's at least my thoughts.
Actually, I may be able to rearrange some of the appointments that aren't as time sensitive.
Sometimes a heavy hand is what is required.
Plus, this guy's just fucking obnoxious. Like, I'd be really tired of dealing with that dude by now if I were them.
Yes.
I'd be like, can you ever just fucking listen to what we're saying? Like,
apparently not. Oh, they evacuated. Oh, look. Ran like a bitch. There he is. Rattle 'em, boys. Oh, protocol droid. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, look at the little mouse droids.
This might be one of the slowest looking chase scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's... The intensity is not there. And I think it's because this is mostly practical from the looks of it. There are ways you can make this look faster, practical, like undercranking.
I mean, I feel like it's just like he's driving a fucking, like, the equivalent of, like...
I'd say like a Cadillac Eldorado.
Yeah, like a space Cadillac, basically.
Yes.
And he's having to drive it through cramped city streets, so he's having to be slightly careful not to fucking off himself.
Yes.
And then they're fucking chasing him on the equivalent of space mopeds. And so it just makes for like one of the slowest fucking like chase scenes ever. Like it's like almost comedic. Like
almost, yeah.
It's almost like a Mr. Bean chase. Like or
kind of. And here's the thing: there are ways they can make this look faster with undercranking. I don't know if you're aware of that. It's basically
I could see like some dude that Mr. Bean's trying to catch, and like the guy's like fucking driving away from him on a bulldozer, and he's like fucking chasing him down on a steamroller.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, you just look back, and Mr. Bean's like, "Get back here!" And then the other guy's just like flips him the bird.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then, honestly, they could have done the thing where they film this at 22 frames per second, and then they crank it up to 24 frames per second, because that's how they're able to mask a lot of fight scenes not being as fast. And they could do that with this. They could have filmed this at 22 frames per second and then sped it up to 24, and you wouldn't be able to really tell the difference. Except if the shutter speed was off, which that's a whole other thing Jacob taught me about. And
I'm trying to think of how that works. So you film it at 22 frames per second.
And then you speed it up to 24 frames per second. So basically, you're picking it up, you're speeding it up to 24.
So it's basically like whatever you filmed would fit into like the block of 22 frames, but now in the time that you had filmed, it's going to get those 22 frames plus another 2 frames of the next part.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes. That's effectively how they do that.
Yeah.
Corridor Digital actually has a really cool tutorial on how they've done it with their fight scenes in the past, and well, again, Corridor Digital's been doing this for more than a decade, so go figure. Anywho, we got back to this. Sick drift there, homie. Too bad it's on a moped. You done?
But even the way his cape is flowing behind him makes it look like they're not going that fast.
Oh, the Huts. Ow.
We'll see. He didn't go that far.
Well, no, again, I don't think they're going that fast. Mangoes.
Fuck the entire fruit market.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Where is he?
He's with the Pikes. Mayor's gone. He's working with the Pikes.
Is he?
Uh-oh. Say if the Pikes are the ones who are holding the upper echelon and also the spaceport, I mean, they'd probably be the most powerful. I mean, because they who control the transports and the couriers basically control the wealth and what comes in and out.
They're going to war.
Then we will be ready.
Ah, that explains it, why Danny Trejo was here.
Yeah. I believe he directed the first episode, too.
I think so, too, yeah.
I was looking stuff up today about who was actually behind all of these so far. And come to find out, Dave Filoni's not actually behind any of this.
Maybe it's just Jon Favreau.
Yeah, it is. It's all Jon Favreau's thing.
Well, maybe Dave Filoni's handling something else that has to do with the Star Wars series on Disney Plus. Because I know the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
was
Robert Rodriguez directed episode 1.
Okay.
They've all been written by Jon Favreau so far.
Well, okay.
And then episode 2 was directed by Steph Green. And the next episode is directed by Kevin Tancharoen.
Yeah, he was the one who did the Mortal Kombat series back in the mid-2000s.
Oh.
Yeah, he's actually a pretty good director. But, yeah, Dave Filoni. Let's see, the animated series, The Bad Batch, Resistance. Let's see, live action credits. Ah, that explains it. So, actually, no. Dave Filoni, it says here he's a director, writer, and producer on the Book of Boba Fett. So maybe he's done other episodes.
Maybe.
And then Ahsoka, this doesn't surprise me he's working more on Ahsoka, if he's working more on Ahsoka, because, Ahsoka is kind of his, main character that he's...
Okay, so the series consists of 7 episodes, all written by Jon Favreau, co-writing on the 6th with Dave Filoni.
Ah. Maybe it's because it'll have... Ooh. Maybe it will have
and apparently Filoni directed an episode. Bryce Dallas Howard and Rodriguez has directed one other episode as well.
Okay.
So we have coming up a Filoni directed episode at a point.
Interesting. And then let's see.
If that episode ends up being the best episode of the season, then I'm going to end up calling that Filoni is the Star Wars genius over Favreau.
Well, I mean...
Because so far, this has just been, in my opinion, I would rate it like a 7 to a 6 out of 10 for the different episodes. Like, episode 1, I'd probably put it like a 6.5. Episode 2, I'd probably put it like a 6. This episode, I'd probably put it like a 6.5, maybe 7.
That's fair. I'm just looking here at Dave Filoni, yes, in terms of what he has contributed to Star Wars overall, yes, Dave Filoni is basically he's arguably I just will come out and say it. He's the best Star Wars writer that has possibly ever been putting stuff out. And I know people are going to probably like say, like, how can you say that? You know, George Lucas and Lawrence Kasdan and all that. It's like, I was going to say they have done a tremendous job, but whenever it comes to this, you know, all this just in one like unified universe that basically Dave Filoni has spearheaded himself, the dude's a genius. The dude is a genius writer. I mean, the Book of Boba Fett, The Mandalorian alone for him. And then, of course, Dave Filoni, Rangers of the New Republic. And then, of course, Ahsoka, which him and Jon Favreau are overseeing. And, of course, they handed Deborah Chow the keys to Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I'm glad they are finally doing. And I'm glad that Kathleen Kennedy...
I didn't know they had decided to do that.
Yeah, because Kathleen Kennedy, I guarantee you, got ousted from the decision-making of what Obi-Wan Kenobi will have in it. And just like, you know what? These guys so far have hit home runs for us on Disney+, and we're not going to deny them anymore. So, yeah.
Well, they originally canceled Obi-Wan Kenobi over how bad Solo did in theaters.
Well, over how bad Solo did, and also the fact that according to Kathleen Kennedy, she was not happy with how they were written. Which I'm like, you think I give a shit how Kathleen Kennedy prefers something to be written? I don't care. And then of course now, after enough time's gone by, I guarantee you, we want with a plot involving Kenobi protecting a young Luke Skywalker from Tusken Raiders. Beginning at once production of the final season had ended. However, Disney canceled their planned spin-off. It was supposed to be a film. I remember that. But then there was, right here, officially announced limited series. Explaining he's been lying about his involvement in the Kenobi series. A month later, Kennedy announced that Deborah Chow would direct. So Kennedy said she was unhappy with the series of scripts. Yeah, so again, I just hate the fact that this is like you're taking what she is saying is gospel, when in truth all she has done for the Star Wars franchise has basically kneecapped it and set it back, I'd say, at least 2 decades.
Yep.
Anywho.
But I'm excited if they're actually getting Ewan McGregor to play Obi-Wan.
Well, yeah, they also got Hayden Christensen back, and they also got Joel Egerton back, who played Owen.
Oh, they got Hayden Christensen for it?
Yeah. They basically got everyone back.
What is he gonna do?
He's basically, from what I understand, he's gonna have maybe a run-in or two with Darth Vader. I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll just have to see.
It's gonna be like Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader?
Yes.
Okay. So I was gonna say, if he was supposed to be playing Anakin in parts before he became Vader, he seems like he would be a little old to portray that at this point.
Well, I mean, he's still got a pretty a young face. I mean, this is him not too long ago.
Yeah, I guess he could probably still pull it off with movie makeup.
Well, yeah. Plus, he's dying to come back as Darth Vader because he thinks that now that George Lucas isn't directing, which I love George Lucas, but the man is not good at directing emotions from people.
Now that it's going to be a series, imagine if we had some flashbacks that tribute the animated series, some stuff that happened in those,
Yeah.
It'd be kind of cool to see some of those come into live action.
I can't believe it. Dude, Joel Egerton's almost 50. I can't believe that. Ewan McGregor, I mean, I knew he just turned 50. Oh, he's an American citizen now. Cool. I didn't know that. So, Ewan McGregor became an American citizen. I guess he's lived here long enough.
Well, I mean, I guess in my brain I'm, assuming that, since he's older, it would be taking place, after, in between the 2 trilogies.
Oh, it is.
But, at the same time, I don't know if there's enough that Obi-Wan did besides just go and hide away that
I would say, well, here's the thing. They've elaborated that Obi-Wan has done more than just sit around and watch Luke. Basically, when Luke was doing something silly, because here's the thing. Luke, when he finally left with Obi-Wan, was like 17, 18 years old. Whereas Obi-Wan Kenobi...
Series begins with Obi-Wan Kenobi watching over Luke Skywalker on Tatooine 10 years after the events of Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith.
I wonder who they're going to get to play Luke. Oh, shit. Ice Cube Jr.'s in this.
Have to be like a 10-year-old kid.
Kumail Nanjiani.
I just hope that we don't get another series set entirely on Tatooine out of this, because I kind of agree with what the article I was reading the other day was talking about, which is Tatooine's just obviously a starter planet. It's kind of a boring planet to set an entire thing on.
Well, that's what I'm expecting from the Book of Boba Fett. If they do another season of it, I'm hoping that they are going to, after he resolves his stuff on Tatooine, that eventually he takes his merry band and basically goes elsewhere. Because the entire universe is at their disposal now. I guarantee you Boba Fett wanted to start small and get enough of a foothold on stuff, and now he's basically going to be going around the universe kicking ass, which I'm all about. Because, again, Boba Fett.
I mean, we'll see, because right now that's not his goal.
Not really, no. His
goal is to get set up on Tatooine and just kind of chill by the looks of it.
Yeah, to a certain degree. So, this one here, I'm interested to see, because Cassian Andor, I think he was a very interesting character. But again, spoilers, he dies in Rogue One. I'm just interested, I wonder how the hell they're going to portray this, because it's set 5 years before. Why is that always the thing? Why is it whenever, they make a series that's focusing on someone who dies in a series, they always set it 5 years before? Not like 7 years or 11 years or X amount before. It's always 5 years. Why? Is that just
no
like...
idea.
Huh?
I have no idea.
It's weird. It's just like when Sledgehammer happened. It's like, end of the first season. Oh, well, everyone's dead. Now what? Oh, let's set it 5 years before.
I didn't know they were making that, and I'm actually kind of low-key, super fucking excited to hear that.
Yeah.
Because... I like basically every character in Rogue One. I thought they were all really cool. And, halfway through the movie, it hit me, and I'm just like, fucking nobody in this is living to the end of this. It's just like,
yeah.
Due to the way the story works, none of these guys are going to end up being alive by the end of this. And I was like, fuck. And sure enough, I was right. And, but he was definitely one of my favorites. And he's a pilot. And obviously, you know how I feel about, flying spacecraft and shit.
Yeah.
So, I'm hoping there are a gratuitous amount of, space combat scenes in that.
Well, if you're excited for that, then you'll be excited for the,
Because that's one other reason that so far I'm just kind of, really meh about Boba Fett. Because I'm like, damn it, we're going to be on this fucking planet for the entire time. And one of my favorite things in Star Wars, other than, lightsaber and blaster battles, is the space battles. And there's, not going to probably be anything in space on this.
Okay, so, yeah, Patty Jenkins, she is going to be directing a... where is it? Okay, here we are. Rogue Squadron. She was hired to direct Rogue Squadron. You wanted to talk about pilots? She's going to be directing it, and she said she wants basically Top Gun, but in space.
That's
minus the bullshit romances. So anyway, December 22nd, 2023 is when she's basically going to be taking... Yeah, and honestly, I think that's cool. I think that I'm glad that Patty Jenkins is getting a chance to make a Star Wars film.
Oh, it's cool that Rogue Squadron's getting a chance to, like, shine in the film universe instead of just the game universe.
Oh, yeah. Well, I guess that's going to do it, everyone. This was the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 3. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And, yeah, I guess until next time, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm in the middle of yawning. Sorry, I'm Nick.
And we'll see you later, everybody. Peace.
5, 4, 3,